Logan Paul is wrapped up in so many lawsuits, it gives me anxiety just thinking about it. He's being sued by a bottling company for not providing enough product. He's facing a class action lawsuit for lying about what was in his product. And he's being sued by the Olympics for using their logo to promote his product. And at the same time, he's suing someone for using his promotional material. And he's suing YouTuber CoffeeZilla for exposing his crypto scam, where he scammed a bunch of his young audience members out of their money. That's 5 total lawsuits. This dude's legal team must be huge.
Logan Paul and KSI may be facing a huge problem because of their energy drinks and hydration drinks. A lawsuit was filed in California by a woman named Elizabeth Castillo. She claimed that despite the representations on the warning that say, hey, this is a super healthy drink, that it's not. She claimed she had it independently tested and that it was claimed to be filled with man-made chemicals that cause cancer. This is a huge deal because Prime made $250 million in its first year of operation. So obviously Logan Paul, KSI, they don't want to claim that it's not healthy or that it's not good for you. This also comes on the heels of Congress saying that they're going to investigate Prime's energy drinks for having too much caffeine and being super unhealthy. So remains to be seen where this lawsuit's going to go, but would you drink Prime?
Logan Paul just found out what happens when you build a billion-dollar brand on hype and nothing else. It started like a fantasy. He had the followers, the fame, the marketing machine. But when the smoke cleared, all that was left was lawsuits, dusty bottles, and a collapsing empire. Prime hydration isn't the future anymore, it's the fallout. But this next twist, game-changing. Prime was supposed to be Logan's big win, the redemption arc, the product that would prove he was more than a controversy magnet. With KSI by his side, they launched Prime like it was the second coming of Gatorade. The branding was loud, the colors brighter, and the bottle, always in someone's hand. But then everything changed. Kids were trading Prime like currency, stores couldn't keep it in stock, influencers were hoarding flavors like they were gold. And Logan, he looked unstoppable. But here's the thing about hype, it burns fast. And when it burns out, it leaves wreckage. This is where it all falls apart.
What I wish I knew at 16. That NFT drama could land you in federal court by 2025. Instead of just viral videos, now it's all about lawsuits and legal fireworks. Let's break down the Logan Paul versus CoffeeZilla showdown. Here's the tea. Logan Paul, the YouTuber and boxer, is suing CoffeeZilla, a crypto investigator, for defamation. Why? CoffeeZilla called Paul's NFT game CryptoZoo, a scam in videos and tweets. Paul says those claims hurt his rep and business, big time. A Texas judge just ruled the case can go forward, saying CoffeeZilla's statements might actually be seen as facts, not just opinion. Disclaimers in the videos? Not clear enough, says the court. So what's next? The legal drama is heating up with no trial date yet. Who's right? Who's wrong? Only the court, and maybe public opinion, will decide. Stay tuned!
By 2024, Prime wasn't trending, it was tanking. In the UK alone, sales dropped from $122 million to just $33 million. That's not just a dip, that's a nosedive off a cliff. Their net profit crashed from $3.7 million to $312,000. That number wouldn't even cover refunds for Logan's last crypto scam, and it gets even messier. Globally, things are worse. Prime's worldwide sales dropped 92%. That's not just bad, it's catastrophic. Even in the US, where Prime was strongest, the hype faded. Sales in early 2024 were down 40%. People weren't just over it, they were avoiding it. Retailers stopped restocking, shelves stayed full, and fans stopped caring. But the real chaos starts here. Because Logan's not just facing business failure, he's drowning in legal trouble. Right now, Prime is buried under nearly $100 million in lawsuits. It's hard to even keep track. There's a $67 million case from Refresco, the bottling company he bailed on. Another $13 million from a supplier he allegedly ghosted after taking ingredients.
This reminds me of why capitalism isn't even that great of a system for the rich people. Logan Paul's rich as hell, but he's constantly trying to scrape every last dollar he can out of his audience, whether through crypto scams or selling a new product. But then there's responsibility and anxiety with that. If you don't fulfill your obligations and produce enough product, which you need to make enough profit in order to do, then you're gonna go under. Or you're not gonna produce enough Prime for the bottling company Refresco and they're gonna sue you. Our whole economy is managed by greedy vultures who are also in competition with one another. And one capitalist is always ready and willing to swallow up another. But all Logan Paul can see is the money, the dollar, the paper. He wants to enter this world of the capitalists and be rich. But now he's drowning in lawsuits, scams, and anxiety.
And then came the bombshell. Turns out Prime Grape might contain toxic forever chemicals. That led to a $5 million past lawsuit. And that's not all. One group filed a caffeine class action over how much stimulant is packed in the energy drink and how they were targeting children. And yes, that's on top of another lawsuit claiming they lied about the actual caffeine amounts. It goes completely off the rails now. Oh, and let's not forget this one. Logan and KSI slapped Team USA logos all over Prime bottles without permission. So now the US Olympic Committee is suing too. The legal hits just keep coming, and Prime's total profit this year barely $400,000. That's pennies compared to what's at stake. Here's where the mask falls off, because Prime was never about hydration, it was about headlines. Logan didn't want to build a legacy, he wanted a fast cash out, a fake win to wash away Crypto Zoo. He wanted headlines that said billion-dollar brand, not lawsuits and refund requests. But now the headlines are brutal, and then total chaos.
Logan Paul just cooked up a response, a fire response to that one dude that's that TikTok lawyer. He got 16 million views, and he started this whole PFO, SO, whatever, Prime thing. He's saying that it has forever chemicals in the Prime drink. He cooked up a fire response. Let's go ahead and watch it real quick. He just posted this too.
Not only is there a lawsuit against Logan Paul's company Prime for there being PFOs, which are forever chemicals, in the Prime hydration drink.
All right, let's talk about this. First off, anyone can sue anyone at any time. That does not make the lawsuit true, and in this case, it is not. There's claims that PFOS or forever chemicals come from plastic. So in this case, they're not talking about the actual drink, the liquid Prime. They're talking about the bottle that Prime is manufactured in. This ain't a rinky-dink operation. We use the top bottle manufacturers in the United States. All of your favorite beverage brands, Coke, Pepsi, Tropicana, Dr. Pepper, they use these companies. If the product is served in plastic, they make a bottle for them.
So to make a long story short, that guy that you guys saw in the beginning of the Logan Paul clip, he said that there's forever chemicals inside of Prime drink, which that is false, and he proved it. Also, he gave the guy that made that video that hit 16 million views 48 hours to respond in an apology, or else he's going to be seeing him in court. What do you guys think about this?
You'd think someone who's been dragged this many times would have learned, but Logan doubled down. He bragged, he laughed, he called critics haters, all while the numbers kept falling and the lawsuits kept stacking. Prime wasn't just crashing, it was imploding. And Logan, still pretending it's all part of the plan, but things were about to explode because even longtime fans are walking away. The kids who once saw him as a hero now see a scammer with a new label. The drink that was once cool, it's now a punchline. Prime became the new Fire Festival, but in a bottle. And the internet, they're watching it burn. The drama only gets deeper. They weren't selling a drink, they were selling a fantasy. Prime drops were hyped like sneaker launches, mystery flavors, flashy collabs, limited runs. It was all smoke and mirrors. Kids were flipping Prime bottles like they were Yeezys. At some schools, there were full-on resale markets. Students were making cash just selling single bottles. But things went downhill fast. Prime became more than a hydration drink. It was a status symbol. Until it wasn't. Because hype only lasts if your product actually delivers. And once Prime became easy to find, people started tasting it for real. And let's be honest, it tasted like melted candy and disappointment. This next part? Straight up wild. Some said it tasted like swallowing perfume. Others said it reminded them of moldy Skittles. Either way, people caught on. It was just overpriced Kool-Aid wearing gym clothes. And instead of fixing the formula, Prime flooded the market with so many flavors it felt like Logan was trying to unlock achievements. It gets worse. There was no direction left. Was Prime for athletes? For kids? For gamers? No one knew. Not even the company. The brand had no identity. Just Logan Paul's face and a shouty slogan. And instead of dialing it back, Logan started forcing it harder. Every podcast, every interview, every cameo, Prime was shoved into everything. But here's where it really explodes. They even tried weird stunts to keep it relevant. Over-the-top promos, cringy gimmicks, and public shade toward brands like Gatorade and Liquid IV. But when your pitch becomes, we suck slightly less, that's a red flag. And it didn't stop there. Prime claimed it was a healthy hydration drink, but the facts told a different story. Brace yourself for this one. Doctors, nutritionists, and health experts started slamming Prime for what it really was. A sugar bomb with a flashy label. Some schools even banned it. Parents started warning each other. And Logan, still on camera saying, "Trust me, bro." Yeah, we've heard that before. But the real chaos starts here. Under fire, Logan pulled out his last trick, damage control. He filmed walkthroughs in a lab wearing a clipboard and pretending he was running a pharmaceutical empire. Talked about FDA compliance like he was the CEO of GNC, but the public wasn't buying it. Here's where the truth hits hard.
So as some of you know, and when I say some, I mean about 30 million, I did a video about a week ago talking about a class action lawsuit that was filed against Prime Hydration, which is partly owned by Logan Paul. And in that lawsuit, they alleged that there are forever chemicals, PFOS and PFAS, in the Prime Hydration drink. And that video got like over 16 million views. And then several days later, I think yesterday, Logan Paul did a video responding to me that got I think he's got like 13 million views at this point. So as I've been reflecting and looking at the onslaught of comments that I've gotten, that Logan's gotten, it honestly made me think that I think this might be a good lesson for all of us on social media, that sometimes it's okay to pause, it's okay to reevaluate things, and it's okay to check your position. That doesn't make you weak, that doesn't make you wrong. And the truth of the matter is that Logan Paul is a young, gritty entrepreneur. And I respect him because I know, just like he knows, when you're young and you do too well too quick, what happens is you get targets on your back. And in all seriousness, I respect Logan Paul. I think he's a fierce defender of his product. And guess what? It's going to play out in court. And if he's right, then Prime should and will prevail. And I look forward to having more dialogue about this issue. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the he said, she said, and then it gets painted as a black and white issue. But the truth of the matter is that I was reporting on a lawsuit that had been filed. I don't personally have any facts or any evidence that the lawsuit references. I was simply reporting on what the lawsuit alleged. But with that said, Logan, I'm sorry, brother. I am. But I ain't cutting my hair.
Because by then, the lawsuits were already making headlines. The reputation damage? Done. People weren't swayed by a lab coat. They were asking real questions. And Logan? He tried to laugh it off on his podcast. He brushed over the lawsuit about forever chemicals, claimed it was no big deal, even joked about it, but that's just the beginning. According to the suit, Prime contains dangerous levels of chemicals people shouldn't be drinking in a lifetime. And instead of addressing it seriously, Logan turned it into content. He mocked it, shrugged it off. All while parents were panicking, schools were cracking down, and kids were getting sick. It turns darker from here. Let me know when you're ready for the next segment, where we go deeper into the pattern of deception, Logan's track record with CryptoZoo, and how Prime might be his final collapse. Logan tried to brush it off. On his podcast, he downplayed the lawsuit like it was nothing. He even made a TikTok to debunk the claims about toxic chemicals, but it was too late. The damage was already done. People believed it. And once a brand's reputation gets poisoned, no amount of electrolytes can clean that up. But this part left everyone stunned. Even after one claim got dismissed, Logan wouldn't let it go. He called it weak, said it was just people reaching for cash, accused them of chasing clout. He even promised not to settle because the claims were bull. But here's the thing, he said the same thing during CryptoZoo, and we all saw how that ended. Now here's where it gets insane, because while Prime crashes, Logan's other disaster, CryptoZoo, is back in the spotlight. That's the NFT game that promised passive income and innovation, but delivered nothing. People poured in over $6 million for animal breeding and digital returns, and they got screenshots. Nothing else. It spirals from here. When the truth came out, it wasn't Logan who stepped up, it was CoffeeZilla. He dropped the receipts, exposed the scam, and called out every shady deal behind it. Logan didn't apologize. He sued. Because in Logan's world, getting caught is worse than the scam itself. And then came the bombshell. The fallout from CryptoZoo wasn't just internet drama anymore. The FBI and SEC started circling. Logan tried to claim that CoffeeZilla had tricked the federal government into investigating him. He said it was all a deliberate lie, but here's the problem. Falsely accusing someone of misleading the feds is a serious charge. Like life-ruining serious. The real chaos starts here. So now Logan's stuck. Prime is tanking. CryptoZoo is under scrutiny. Lawsuits are raining down. And the empire he built off shortcuts and stunts? It's collapsing. Not because of bad luck, but because of bad choices. He didn't just fumble the bag, he lit it on fire. And that's when the tables turned. Prime was never built to last. It was hype in a bottle. Flashy branding, loud marketing, empty promises. But there was no foundation, no real product, just clout. And when the clout ran out, so did the customers. This is where it all falls apart. Now Logan's holding the final product of his hustle, a half-empty bottle of regret. Not because people turned on him, but because he gave them every reason to. Prime wasn't a business, it was a flex. Just like CryptoZoo. And these shortcuts? They always catch up. Here's where the truth hits hard. So the next time a flashy influencer holds up some neon-colored miracle and says trust the process, just remember, hype is temporary. But karma collects interest. And Logan Paul, he's paying up. There's no way back from this, and the world knows it now.